package that NASCAR has. And this is something that NASCAR is working on. NASCAR is, give them time. This is just week number 1. This is just week 1. I believe that this new era package, this new motor package that NASCAR has come up with, that they unveiled back at the end of the year, is going to be really, really big. And you just got to let them work on it. Remember, here's something to think about, too. The motor package that was at Speed Weeks was not the same motor package that you're going to see this weekend at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Totally different motor package. For the Cup Series, for the Xfinity cars and the trucks. And by the way, Atlanta Motor Speedway, I'm in Georgia myself, in southern Georgia. Atlanta Motor Speedway, Hampton, Georgia, 888 race ticks. If you've not ordered your tickets now for Atlanta Motor Speedway, the Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500 weekend, shout out to Ted Alstead, Ed Clark, everybody at Atlanta Motor Speedway. That's where I got a lot of my NASCAR career started, was announcing at Atlanta, doing stuff at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and I'll never forget that. But they've got a great, great show at Atlanta Motor Speedway. The Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500 weekend, round number 2 of the Cup Series season. So, but hey, look, again, in closing, because we're going to get out of here, I just got to give props and respect to Joe Gibbs Racing, to Denny Hamlin, to Kyle Busch. My pick was Kyle Busch to win. Yes, he didn't win. He got second. There's nothing wrong with second. And again, to pay respects to somebody as great as a friend was to Denny Hamlin, phenomenal. And a lot of people might not know the story, but I was very, very... I'd watched Denny Hamlin's successes, okay? I would say that's something I was honestly lucky enough to be able to see. If you followed racing at Southampton Speedway in Capron, Virginia, which the track is closed down now, Southampton Speedway, or Southern National Motorsports Park, which, by the way, they fire up their season of racing with Michael Diaz and company next Saturday. Go out to snmpark.com for information. But for the longest time, Denny Hamlin, he just raced late models. His family literally about lost everything. They were financially bankrupt because they wanted their son to live the dream in that number 20 late model. If it wasn't for J.D. Gibbs stepping up to the plate and telling Daddy Joe Gibbs, we need to put this young man in our cars. He needs the shot that he needs to make it to the big time. Denny Hamlin would just be another one of those local grassroots Saturday Night Warriors. And there sadly are so many talented drivers in dirt, asphalt, late models, modified sprint cars, and more that I believe that are caliber drivers that could be the weekend Sunday Warriors. I'm not stealing a line from Chaz Thompson here in the Inside the Dirt. By the way, I met him on Thursday or Friday at Bubba Raceway. We had a heated discussion about things. There's some topics that I agree with, and there's other things that I don't understand his logic, and I disagree with his things of saying. I don't understand why he's got a problem with Christopher Bell or Kyle Larson. I don't know why he wants to bash NASCAR as bad as he does. I could promise you, the powers that be, Steve Phelps, Steve O'Donnell, Mike Helton, the powers that be at NASCAR, they know they got a problem. They know that they got something they got to do to fix it. Okay? This is beating a dead horse. Bottom line. If you love racing, watch it. If you don't, then don't. What gets me is the people that complain about racing, and they're the ones that watch it every Sunday afternoon, but then they want to bash the sport, but then they're tuned right into their television or listening on the radios. And if you don't care for something, why do you post about it? That's how I feel about it. That's my rant. I'm done. I'm over with, folks. Brad Roberts was not able to join me, but it's all good. Maybe we'll catch him on a show another time, talking about the history of tracks of Florida. But we hope you've enjoyed our recap of Speed Weeks. For everybody at Fox Sports Radio, iHeartRadio, tuned in, and iTunes, and the Community Radio Network. Archives will be up in a bit. I'm Wesley Outland. Always remember, in the road to life, whether racing or personal, there's always a finish line. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.
This episode of Finish Line is an exclusive production solely for the private, non-commercial use of our listening audience. Any publication, reproduction, transmission of the accounts without the express written consent or permission is restricted and prohibited. To hear this replay or other previous podcasts, download on iHeartRadio, iTunes Radio, and TuneIn. As always, this show is for you. Thank you for listening and being a fan of motorsports.